What's it like when all the members actually hit the studio? What's the atmosphere like when the band actually gets back in and you're like, right, we're going to make another killer album?
Chaotic. To
say the least.
Everything we do is chaotic, and it's not like, we get spread out sometimes and we all get kind of caught up in our own shit that we do, so, it's not like we're hanging out with each other every day of every minute, you know what I mean? So you've got that chaos, on top of, I got these songs and then there's these songs and all that. So it takes us a while to get everything going and, and find the right chapter, if we can even find the right book. But then it all comes together, and I think that's part of what makes us what we are,
Gunshots, fireworks, motorcycles.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah.
When we finally get into the studio, after maybe some pre-production or getting together, and listening to the skeletons of the songs and starting to mix things up. It's awesome because, everybody's such a great musician, and, now we're at the point, like Corey said before, where, it's easier to bring ideas in and have those be presented to everybody, and instead of just the militant way that we used to do things, so, which in the future is going to make Slipknot even more exciting.
Yeah.
What about the songwriting process? Is that set out? Are there normally like members that collaborate with one another? Because with 9 different members, there's great potential to kind of mix it up. Even like on this album, you might not have had a couple of members that have collaborated before, and you can put them in the room and see what they come up with. How does that side of it work?
Well, this album was a lot more collaborative. It was pretty sweet. I mean, we had people bringing in ideas that had never really, it had maybe held back a little bit before. I know me personally, I brought a couple of whole songs to the mix that I just never would have had the courage to do before. And everybody just had their 2 cents, and we just kind of put it together like that. There's a main core of people who kind of get the ball rolling when it comes to stuff like that. But once it's once it's kind of fleshed out and framed up, that's when we all kind of contribute. So the songwriting process is very much all of us.
With the various side projects that different people have got going on, is there kind of a rule that Slipknot always comes first?
Well, of course it does.
Of course.
How do you differentiate what material goes to what band? When it's time to write a Slipknot album, do you get in a certain mindset, or could you be working on one of your other projects and write a Slipknot song on 2 of us at the same time?
I think everyone kind of, this is the first time that me and Jim actually wrote together, and that was really cool. Jim really contributed a lot to this record. Everyone, really, I think, we wrote a lot in the studio this time, and we had, usually when we demo like 14 songs, like we only demoed like 7, and the rest we all collaborated in the studio with, and really built the song in the studio this time, instead of like, okay, this is the way it is, go in and just record it.
With us, it's always one thing. There's always songs that come about, and it's never really who writes them or what's going on, but everyone kind of puts their layer on it. And only the best stuff for the band can make it. It's just the way it is. We don't really get caught up in too much of the drama. It's just whatever's best for the band. I mean, we've been doing this a while now. There's not one song that's because of just one person. This is Slipknot. I mean, there might have been days where we wondered about that kind of stuff and were confused sometimes, but in reality, this is a special band. It takes all 9 guys to give their love, basically onto their stamp. Otherwise, it's just, it's too hard.